All right, in this assignment, we're going to multiply mixed numbers using two different methods. We're going to do it the traditional method, and we're going to use an area model. Let's start with the traditional method. Okay, it's important when you're multiplying mixed numbers that you have to turn the mixed numbers into improper fractions before you multiply them. So we're going to take 3 halves, and we're going to take the 2, multiply it by the whole number, 3, and then add the numerator. So we have 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. So we're going to have 7 halves. And then we're going to take the denominator 4, multiply it by the whole number 2, so that's 8. And we're going to add the numerator 3, so that's 11. So we're going to have 11 fourths. Then after we're done turning them into improper fractions, first we're going to see if we can simplify before we multiply. And if I look at the 7 and the 2, they don't simplify. The 11 and the 4 don't simplify. The 7 with the 4 doesn't simplify. And neither does the 11 and 2. So we can't simplify. So we're just going to go ahead and multiply 7 times 11, which is 77. And we're going to multiply 2 times 4, which is 8. So we have 77 eighths as our product. Now we're not going to leave our product as an improper fraction because it's not that easy to understand. So we're going to change the product back into a mixed number. So we're going to take 77 and we're going to divide it by 8. So 8 goes into 77 9 times. 9 times 8 is 72. Subtract, we have 5 left. 5 becomes the new numerator, and the denominator is 8. So we end up with a product of 9 and 5/8. Now let's see how this is going to look using the area model to multiply. So we're going to change the 3.5 to 3 plus 1/2. And then we're going to take 2 and then 3/4 and make it 2 plus 3/4. And then now we have our numbers mapped out, and we're basically going to find the area of these 4 rectangles. So the length and width of the first rectangle, let's see, we have 3 times 2, so that's 6. And then we have 1/2 times the length of this line. Now, I know that this line is 2 because opposite sides of a rectangle, and I'm referring to this rectangle, opposite sides are equal. So I have a 2 here, so we know it's going to be 2 here. So my length and width are 1/2 times 2. 1/2 times 2 over 1 equals 2 over 2, which equals 1. So now we're going to multiply, we have the length here, which if I look directly above is 3, because opposite sides of this rectangle are equal. So that's 3 times 3/4. So let's see what that comes out to be. We're going to have 3 over 1 times 3/4, and that equals 9/4, which equals 2 1/4. And then the last rectangle I have here is the length here is going to be 1/2 times 3/4. So we're going to do 1/2 times 3/4. And that equals 3/8. And now we just need to add all these together. So I'm going to add the area of this rectangle. We have 1, we have 2 1/4, and we have 3/8. Okay, so if I start off with the fractions, we're going to just make an equivalent fraction for these. So they're going to have a common denominator of 8. And this is going to be 2/4, or I'm sorry, 2/8. and this is going to be 3/8. So I have a total of 5/8. And then here's my whole numbers. I have 6 plus 1 plus 2, which is 9. So you can see I have 9 and 5/8 and 9 and 5/8.